So this is a brief spiritual reflection, and I'm going to throw this very interesting academic article in the description. Now, I've gone, on about the the Vedic spiritual concepts, Vedic science now, as it relates to the diversity of humanity, nature as it is, Bhagavad Gita as it is, humanity as it is, human nature as it is, not just human nature, creation, life as it is, and as it has always been. Mark my words. Nature as it has always been. I think if people even who might disagree with me, I think they're intuitively going to, you know, I think it makes sense to them as well. Whether they consciously, subconsciously agree or disagree, no matter. It's nature. Folks, it's nature as it has always been. And so the Vedic spirituality concept, for example, there's a concept of a third gender. But it's not so much the concept of this or that. It recognizes human nature as it always been. I'm not just talking about orientation, human sexuality. That's one component, but it's also your own inclination, your own inner swabhava, your own intrinsic nature, unique to every individual person. Now, in the native Hawaiian spirituality, they accept it, they recognize, just like the Vedic civilization, there's a great diversity of human expression. And I reiterate time and again, probably for the 10th time in a row, that I view the human persuasion as a broad spectrum. And what I want to speak against is this idea in the modern times that, so in the ancient days, one sexuality, it's not an issue. It's not issue. So I don't mean I mean it's in the old days, it's not an issue, right? So now in the modern day, there's this idea that there's a cultural conspiracy that wants to do this or that. Human nature as it is as it has always been. So quite frankly, if you're a straight male, you're going to be into women. If you're a straight woman, you're going to be into men. And that's human. So the human nature as it is, it's not necessarily what I see as some type of cultural thing. It's just human nature, the way it is. And the wisdom of Hawaii, the wisdom of the ancient, the Vedic civilization, recognizes the human nature. Human nature is sexuality, not just sexuality, your own inclination, what you want to do in life, your compulsion. You want to serve in the military, you want to defend your community, you want to serve your community, where you have a spiritual priestly vocation, a vocation to the priesthood. You're a teacher, you're a guru, you're a rabbi, you're a priest, you're a bishop. It's your own intrinsic inner nature. So, and lastly, the problem in the modern day is that misunderstandings of faith and religion, it turns people away from religion. And that's problematic, because now if people only have one impression of religion, if they have a negative impression of religion, that's a terrible thing, because there's such a broad, there's a whole universe. If you believe in one God, if you believe in many interpretations, there's a whole spiritual cosmology out there. So I feel like people shouldn't just, if they had ever had a negative encounter with faith and spirituality, they have to, I feel like they should discover there's something out there. It's a much broader cosmology than many people realize. It's not that simple. There's an expansionist universe. There's multiple dimensions, multiple realities. Something very, very high level.